Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Edge of Exile. You'll see me being joined to my right by the handsome Jeff Pacito. Jeffrey, how are you today?
I am doing very, very well, actually. I'm excited about tonight's show. Actually, it's
Yeah,
going to be a little bit different this time. There's something exciting happening.
yeah,
It's not just two of us.
that's right. For the first time, I think, if we don't count Janice, who is here beside me, as always, helping in the background. Uh,
Always count Janice.
yes,
Careful
we
what you
always
say there. Always count.
Oh, Janice always counts. That's true. But tonight, for the first time, we're going to have a third primary voice speaking through most of the episode because tonight we're being joined by Lee from Tavern Brawlers. Let's bring him onto the camera here and welcome him to the.
Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mhm.
Ooh. Pa- Pause for a second, Jason. The chat is saying they cannot hear you. You can hear the rest of us fine, though. Chat room. Jeff talking. If Lee says something, you can hear him.
Hello, hello. Audio checks.
Can
Yes,
hear. Unfortunately, we can hear you perfectly fine, Jason. Just so you
crystal
know.
clear.
Oh, they want to hear you talk again, Lee. Go ahead and say
Yeah.
something.
Hey,
Oh,
Andrew. Yeah, it's Andrew on their profile today, right?
Oh, yeah, that's Andrew. Okay, yeah, just
So,
everyone but Jason. Oh, he's gonna have to work on that. That's good. We can take over the show. We can do whatever we want.
it's up to us now. So, what big updates have you been wanting to push over onto Genesis while Jason's
I can do whatever I
incapacitated?
want.
how about now? Can you hear me now?
The beauty
Let's
of the
see.
10-20 second delays, we got to wait for them to know if they've
Right.
heard you or not.
I switched to a different microphone, so hopefully they can hear me now. I'm just watching
Give
the
them a
chat to
second.
see.
Yep, it's
Good
good
now.
now.
Good
Yep,
now.
good now. All
Thumbs
right. I
up.
apologize for
All
the
right.
delay, everyone. Like I was saying,
Oh,
we're very excited
barely though. Hold
because,
on. Julius says he can
oh,
barely hear you.
barely. Oh, well,
Oh,
hold on. Let me fix that too. There's a fix for that.
yeah, it's called talking
Uh,
louder.
that is one of the fixes. Yep. The other one is I'm just going to crank this audio way up here.
That should be good. Oh, cardboard
Let's
can hear just
see.
fine.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Cue the Jeopardy theme music.
Now, good. All right. Here we go.
All right, so
And
redo your
take
intro because
two.
it was a beautiful intro.
Let's redo the beautiful intro super quick. Just basically, we're excited because tonight Jeffrey and myself are being joined by Lee from Tavern Brawlers. Lee at Tavern Brawlers has been involved in helping people play games online, card games like Genesis. And people have started asking us about what's the future look like for online play for Genesis. And we reached out to Lee. We wanted to talk to him tonight. We thought we'd make it a fun public talk to talk about what they're doing over there at Tavern Brawlers, what we have planned for the future here at Edge of Exile, and how all of us can hopefully work together to help you, the viewers at home, have fun playing Genesis wherever you are. Is that about right so far, Jeff?
I think so. I think that covers pretty much everything. Yeah, it was a perfect timing on everything sort of thing. You know, reaching out to each
Yeah.
other, talking with Lee, people online asking about it and everything. I think it was just about time that everything just kind of happened or fell into place, if you want to call it that. So that's perfect.
So I know
Well, I
that,
guess it didn't really fall into place. We actively went after things, so it didn't fall
yeah.
into place.
So I know that there's a lot of people out there that play games online through tournaments through Tavern Brawlers. So there's probably some people watching tonight who are very familiar with Lee. But for the people who have only watched our social media before, who maybe don't know what Tavern Brawlers is all about, I had a couple questions that I'd like to ask you, Lee, just to
Yeah,
touch base to begin with, if you're ready for a couple quick questions.
absolutely. I can't
So
promise quick answers.
no, no, you can take all the time you want. We'd love to get to know more about you and about what you've been up to. My first question is Tavern Brawlers itself. Could you give us just a brief explanation of what you and whoever else you may be working with at Tavern Brawlers are trying to accomplish for people?
Yeah, so the Tavern Brawlers are an online community building team. We are players working and building and creating an environment and a space for other players. I come from a very rural area where I don't have a lot of LGS support, a lot of different LGSs, a lot of games that I want to play aren't present at the LGSs where I live and have lived, and so I've needed to have that support. And when sometimes you just have to find that online, and I wanted to create a space where we were able to bring a bunch of our games together and create a mutual community for us to be able to enjoy our games together as a player community. I do have like teams in like the different games. We will go to travel to tournaments and then play at these events as well. We host events, we stream, we do content, we just have a straight up community space on Discord called the Tavern. We have presence, of course, on Facebook and YouTube and everything else. You know, just on Twitter and Instagram. We can give all the details later. But yeah, pretty much, we just want to create opportunities for players to do what they love to do best: play games.
How
Cool.
long have you been doing this for, Lee?
Yep, I've been doing this for the team. I've been on the team since 2018, August of 2018, and we switched from being a small local travel team who just wanted to go share, split a hotel cost and travel cost to becoming a community building team about a year into that. So for about 3 years, I've been specifically hosting events and hosting and trying to community build as well for that across a variety of different games. Starting from, I came from a Magic background. Magic had some problems for me personally that made it difficult for me to keep up. so I had to make a transition. I transitioned to Force of Will for a very short, brief stint. Loved the game, and it was very refreshing for me. But I joined Force of Will just as it plummeted again for a second plummet. It's back. It's coming back up again. It's trying to push. It's trying to push. It's trying. As doing. I know a lot of people in the community, and I love all of them very much, and they're doing a fantastic job there. Went from that to Argent Saga, another game that I was there for before it launched to after it died. So I have a nice solid 2 year chunk of my life spent in that game there. Again, I don't regret a minute of it because I love the people that I met there and the experiences that I've had there. Built up with a team throughout that period into a bigger kind of form of what it is now through the switching from Argent Saga into Flesh and Blood. Just before the Monarch set in Flesh and Blood dropped, so I was able to get in at that point and start community building, and we've grown significantly since then and started to be able to introduce a couple of other games as well. Like I said, we are a multi-game team and community, so we want to try to create a platform where all these different games are welcome and the people are who play them are also welcome.
So for most of the games that you guys support right now, are you playing through Tabletop Simulator or are you using other technological methods of playing as well?
So some of them are through Tabletop Simulator. Some of the newer games, especially like Alpha Clash and Grand Archive, it's very hard for a lot of people across the world to be able to get access to the actual physical cards sometimes, or get them and access in time to be able to. Additionally, when there's content creation opportunities, it's a lot more difficult to see other forms. If there is an organized play platform that's approved, like Tabletop Simulator for a lot of games, we try to use that. If there's other programs, like for Flesh and Blood, they have a program called Talishar. I don't prefer to use them for tournaments. For Flesh and Blood, we do webcam tournaments. We're actually hosting one tonight, even. But so we'll have webcam tournaments for Genesis, where you have a shared board state. Doing webcam games is not really a feasible option, unfortunately. So we will definitely be trying to use an online platform for that as well. But yeah, some games have their own platforms, and if they're sanctioned by the creators of the game, by the devs, we are willing to use those platforms. But we do want to support the games themselves to the best of their abilities in the secondary markets for those games by doing webcam events, such you kind of like need to have your cards to be able to enjoy, and in order to kind of like just feel like you're actually playing the game.
Do you know
For
offhand how many games you're supporting right now?
like around 8 different games right now,
Wow.
or
And out of
more.
those
Yeah.
8 different games, have any of the creators, the companies behind those games, stepped in to give you guys any personal support or anything like that? Have you
Oh,
reached out to any games other than the
absolutely.
conversation you had with us recently?
Yep. So I work with Genesis. I had the pleasure of working with Joey and Asid previous to the transition. Working with you guys now, the best that we can for now, and then hoping to progress that as the relationship develops. I'm working with Varia, a CCG game,
I've heard
a
good
live.
things.
So very phenomenal people there. Great devs, great game. Very casual, very fun to play for those people. I had an amazing league fire off for that as well this month. It's their 2nd-year anniversary for having founded, and they actually threw in
Nice.
an uncut sheet as a sponsored prize as well for that event. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm working with whoever I can. I work with LGS partners. So, in a lot of places where games don't want to work specifically directly with individuals like myself, I will get my partnerships through an LGS. And I have multiple LGS partners out there in the field right now that I'm working with in order to be able to host some of these organized play platforms. Like Flesh and Blood, you have to do that through a store. So I use like a LGS's gem accounts so I can be able to use that gem to be able to host events. And then get the official play stuff like the armory kit stuff. I did that enough for one LGS that they ended up getting a special event given to them by the company as well, and I was able to actually host that in their store for them.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. Very excited about that event. That was a lot of fun, and it was very successful. Um, Games like Alpha Clash and Grand Archive that are still smaller. A lot of the times the devs are easy to get a hold of sometimes. So sometimes they might throw in a little bit of extra stuff. For Grand Archive, I did host a championship tournament on my own that they did help provide us some prize support for as well. For Alpha Clash, they are helping a little bit, but not not very directly. More like work with your LGS partner, but they're very happy to have that in place as well. I have full permissions to be able to host online. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, for people who are Genesis fans who maybe haven't played in a tournament of yours before, could you walk us through like what was the most recent Genesis tournament you did like? Like, what is there a
Yep.
sign up? Is there a registration? If there is, how is it paid for? All those kind of things.
Yep. So we took the last month off. It was kind of being summertime. People were on vacations and trips and stuff like that. The community still being, admittedly, a little bit on the smaller side, and we're building that up, of course. But being on the smaller side, we don't have a ton of people consistently. So the people that we have, like if they go on vacations, they can challenge the events a little bit. So we're hoping to bring more people in. That's where you guys
Hmm.
come into play
For
out there
sure.
listening in today. Additionally, we do have like a registration form. I built it for September's league already for you guys, so that I can push that link out with you guys. It is a Google Docs form. I'll have you fill out with your information. We will be using Tabletop Simulator and Challenge.com for our organized play platform. So make sure you have a Challenge account. Make sure you have a TTS account and have the mods for that downloaded. And I think that there's a few people in the community that can help out right now with the TTS mods for those who need help with the deck building. Usually I take payments for entry through PayPal. I can do it through Facebook Pay as well, pretty easily enough. And if there's like specific situations where people can't do either of those, I do have team members who have other accounts that I can kind of like filter through as well.
Hmm.
So there's ways, like no matter what you got out there for entry, we can work with you guys. That's super easy to do. But we also have so we have an entry, right? But that's all great and everything. But what you guys want to know is what are you paying for, right? So when you're playing in one of the Tavern Brothers tournaments, if it's a monthly league, the event is stretched over the course of a month. You have each round is a 3 to 4 day block or a window in which you schedule a time with your opponent of that round in order to get your game in, and then you two are responsible for playing and getting your your match reported in. Then, when that round is done, we pair it off to the next round for the next block of 3 to 4 days. So typically, I like to split the weekend in the middle of the week. So it'll be Sunday to Tuesday, and Wednesday to Saturday are the windows that we specifically use, and we can adjust a little bit of flexibility here and there to allow for like special events or things that are special situations that are happening. We try to be a little bit flexible, especially for our smaller leagues. We For prize support, we have a ton of stuff. For Genesis alone, I have Genesis posters from the Art House Syndicate. I have metal exert tokens. I have promo packs. I have stickers. I have tons of promos, tons of epic rares, and a whole bunch of stuff kicking around. Like I can just start pulling stuff off the shelves here for you guys.
No, don't do that. You're
Yeah,
gonna make a mess of your place.
I have a ton of stuff that I really would love to get into the hands of the Genesis players. I have Genesis boxes sitting up here on the shelves. I have Origins Kickstarters. I have some Jalara. I have some retail Origins. Soon I might have some Invasion coming in eventually.
Hmm.
Additionally, one of the things that we're going to be offering through the support of Edge of Exile here is we also will be adding a couple of extra boxes for the next several events that we'll be hosting. Thank you to both of you guys very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll
We're
be
grateful
getting
for
those
that
shipped out to
support.
you probably tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we'll be getting some booster boxes down so that you can do some win a box events or however you want to hand them out, but up the prizing a bit for you to get people even more excited. Because it sounds like you already
Yeah.
have a great start on the prizing, but throwing a whole booster box here and there, and that'll help even more, hopefully.
Absolutely. And I love to give out prizing based on both um, your skill, how well you did in the event, on results, as well as random participation. So if you're not the best
Nice.
player, don't worry about it. There's still a pool of stuff for you to be able to get. And if you are the best player, you're going to get a little bit more. It's going to be great. I use a prize wall system as well. So we also use, because we're the Tavern Brawlers, our space is the tavern. Our prize wall we use for our prize wall points. We call them pints,
Oh, nice. I like that.
and
Nice.
and then we keep track of it on your tab.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it's very thematic and it's a lot of fun. You can get these pints through participating in events. We will give them out both again based on standings and random drawings as well, based on usually the number of people participating, because this is a small individual personal thing that we're doing as a more of an advanced hobby. We do try to keep it cost effective, but we also try to pay out 100% in prize support as well.
There's a few questions from Andrew in the chat. First, I just wanted to mention my
Hey, Andrew.
experience with Tavern Brawlers, because I did play in a tournament. Oh gosh, 6 months ago, maybe something like that. It was quite a while ago, but I can totally understand from your approach of not having an LGS nearby and trying to make everything work, why it was such a comfortable, easy experience. Because I like that, and I mean nothing negative about the single day tournaments that people do online, but it was nice to have that window of time to be able to connect with your opponent.
Yeah.
It was done in a, no matter how competitive the game was, everyone was there in a casual manner, understanding that we're all in different time zones and things like that. So we were able to make it work. The people I competed against, and it was a really good environment. It's kind of environment you want to have at your LGS, where everyone's kind of there to have fun, to have a good time, but you're not set to be oh, you're there Saturday all day doing these sorts of things. I really like that kind of environment that the Tavern Brawler seems to foster, because it does make you feel like you want to play more, because you can have a life and a job and play the games. You don't have to be at a FNM every Friday night sort of thing at 6 o'clock.
That's my favorite thing about the monthly leagues that we host, and that's why I can just create the same system and I use the same schedule for all the leagues that I host each month, and that's just how I do it, and that's exactly why. There's always pros and cons to everything, right? Even this schedule, even this broad window schedule can be challenging for certain people in different time zones or with different work shifts. We do have that once in a blue moon. Two people's schedules just cannot align. They are starstruck and they just cannot get together for a match. Unfortunately, sometimes that's unpleasant, and there's ways that we do that. We have a rule set for everything that is involved with that. But we try to be as absolutely fair and respectful about everything as possible, understanding that we're all here to play a game that we all love together, and we do want to be casual about it, but serious about it, like seriously casual. Like we
That's a
want to
good way
be
to
like
put it.
at that level of like we want you to have a ton of fun and enjoy what you're doing. But that also means structure.
Yes,
We need that
yeah.
structure in order to make that smooth for the collective.
Andrew's question was about consistency in online and tournament play for Genesis. He's wondering if in your thoughts, Lee, does it have more to do with the fact that it's a grid-based system and requires mutual play on the same mat, or is it more that people are still waiting on seeing things pan out and come to fruition with Invasion, and things like that? What is your opinion on why we haven't had a lot of online or / tournament play in the last little bit?
So there are a number of different factors that always play into this, right? Some of the factors are it's summer,
Yeah. Okay.
and you will always see all of my events across the board are down right now. So it's not just Genesis at all. It's not. the summer is a big deal, right? It's summer. They're excited. People don't have a lot of money because they're spending it doing summer things. They're not spending the time indoors on a computer tied to a screen when they could be outdoors with their family doing a cookout, even if it's just like grilling, like spending a little bit extra time grilling or something, or just like whatever. Like another factor is time zones. Because we host events and a global spectrum, everybody internationally is welcome to join. And we do have a ton of international people who do play in our events at times. Sometimes the time just doesn't line up for people to be able to join in an event. Some of it's awareness. Some people just don't know what we have going on, and that's understandable, right? I mean, we just got to work on building that. I do have on the team one other organizer, Joe G, who has been doing a phenomenal job with us. We were doing weekly events for those of you who do like that 1 day event. Bang it out all in 1 day and then go on about your business. 2 or 3, 4 rounds in a row and then be done and have a great little event. We do try to host weekly events as well, usually. I'll be talking with Joe to get those going again here soon if he still has that interest for that. But we do also need to figure out where and when and how people want to have their ability to play as well, because those weekly events are where time zones really create a lot of challenge, especially.
You need a much bigger audience at that point where you can pull from specific time zones, that these guys are on the East Coast, these guys are going to be West Coast, and or even international, and go along those routes. So I can understand that for sure.
Yeah, even for like our bigger games, our more popular games, we have that challenge as well. So, and then I mean, there's the factor of the game is in a transitional period right now. People are waiting to see. They're on the edge. They're waiting on the border. Sometimes like they're just like, I have all this Genesis product that I don't know what to do with right now. Because the market's not hungry for it, and people are just kind of waiting to see what happens. And I think that Invasions is going to be hugely important to that deciding factor, right? For those who are dedicated to Genesis but are still just watching, that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for Genesis, and they're waiting to see what business decisions you guys make and the community decisions that you guys make as well. I think so.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's. That does make. I mean, I was just looking at we're on episode 9. Are we now, Jason? Is this episode 9? Yeah, so it's basically been 9 weeks since we've been able to do anything at this point, right? So we're 2 months into trying to pull something together. So it's in the infancy for us, even, right? Like, even though we're hitting the ground with a product that was there, we're building it back up, sort of thing. Not quite from the ground, but almost from the ground up to get it where it needs to be. I think we're comfortable saying that, because it's taken a lot of work to get it where it is. So I can see them waiting to see what's coming down the line, and I think they'll be pleasantly surprised, right, Jason?
Yeah.
I think you will be too, Lee. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I've been very happy with the progress that you guys have made so far. Not to like pander here or anything, but legitimately, seriously, I've been loving the new styles of the cards. I've been liking the artwork. I love the artwork. I'm a very artwork oriented type of person for the games that we play as well. So like seeing those upgrades and being able to see that and being able to work with that and really get to enjoy that is an aspect of the game that I really enjoy as well. Jeff, you're an artist, right, as well? You're one of the artists before, so that's really cool. Being able to sit and talk with an artist occasionally from the game is a really, really cool aspect. So I've really been very happy with the direction that things are going so far.
Well, and I can tell you, as minor as it sounds, we were actually talking about this recently, me, Jason, and Janice, was the, it sounds so simple, but just the layout of the card. And I'm not talking about the layouts that we built over time with a little bit of community feedback and all that. I'm talking about the templating of it and placing the artwork into the frame. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work to get it placed just right so that it actually works the best. Yeah. It's not just a matter of saying you have an image that is 2 by 3 and you stick it right in there. There's a lot of work done to get it exactly how you want it to present it, to make it as flashy as possible, let's say.
Right.
Right?
And
You're not
like
just doing an entire piece.
an artist can make a whole art piece like this, right? But maybe the focal point on it ends up being up in this corner of the artwork. So then you have to kind of like squeeze that into the art frame instead, you know. And yeah, I totally understand. I love seeing a card artwork and then later on getting to see the full artwork of the card, and it's just so much
Yep.
fun. I love that.
There was one recently. A friend of mine showed me of a magic card where you only see like the head of a dragon, and
Yeah.
it's a piece that's the entire dragon. You only see the head of it on the artwork. When you see the entire piece, you go, "Why couldn't they use the whole thing?" But you understand that that's not what the focus of that card was, and that's something we've really taken to heart, is to make sure that from start to finish, this game is showing what it needs to show. Invasion should be gangbusters, showing off what it wants to show, the potential of what can happen. With this game.
Yep.
Jason, did you have any more questions? I'm going to check the chat and see if there's anything else in there.
Sure, I got a question for Lee. Lee, in a perfect world, what could a game making company do to help support what Tavern Brawlers is trying to accomplish?
All right.
What would you like to get from a game manufacturer?
So, for me personally, I like to put into my prize pools unique things. I've had the opportunity to work with like card alterists and have them on my back pocket and be able to give out a card alter commission as a prize support before. Just to stir the creative minds there, just stuff like that. The metal exert tokens that I picked up before the transition, I thought those were going to be the coolest prize support ever. Like people would absolutely have to have like 12 of these things, and therefore want to play in a bunch of events to get them. You know, so like stuff that's unique and exciting. Sometimes people don't know that they need something until they see it, right? And I've had that comment on a number of events before and a number of prize supports before. For me as an individual, I don't always expect a gaming company to work with me directly. But for an LGS, they definitely need to have that draw. They need to have something that's fun and exciting and useful to people. There's nothing worse than like a promo that's just like, okay, cool. It's a promo version of a card that nobody cares about. Right? It's not exciting, but you don't want to make it too chase, right? So you got to make it the right balance, which is hard to do. But being able to provide stuff like that, being able to provide actual physical product is really great. For me, because I'm an online organizer, my situations and circumstances are slightly different. So stuff that's bigger and bulkier is harder for me to ship to people. So stuff like the playmats, absolutely phenomenal, beautiful, gorgeous. I loved the championship tournament playmats that I worked with Sid to be able to design and have made and printed and given away for that championship. And I would have loved to have had one for myself too. But I do have the one from the Worlds sitting on my desk right here, right now. So yeah, that's my kind of like my current base table mat. So I love that, but playmats like that are very hard to ship.
Fair, very fair.
But that's a very unique situation for me, right? For an LGS owner, that's perfect because you want big table mats to sit on a table to be able to represent both the game, the artwork, and create engagement. And hey, what's that game? Or hey, what's that playmat from? Or hey, what's this or that? You know, you want those questions if you're an LGS owner, right? I mean, Jason, you know, you deal with those questions all the time. Hey, what's that? You do that by putting something in somebody's face, you know, not directly, but like just off to the side here in their vision. So like mats are great for that. Table mats are beautiful. For me personally, yeah, I'm really would be excited just to be able to have a really good organized platform, like a TO platform. And then being able to have a way to be able to share events with the community that's not intrusive.
Nice.
That in and of itself.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but speaking of
No.
platforms, you did just jog my memory. that we do have a bit of an announcement that we have to share tonight.
Yep.
Jeff knows about this. As a matter of fact, Jeff, you're the one who got the message. Would you maybe like to deliver the news?
Sure. Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
it. So, it's a good news, bad news situation, really. The good news is we're pushing forward with Tabletop Simulator. So we are going to support that going forward at this point. When Invasion comes out, we're going to work on getting those cards into there as well. We'll probably redevelop the mod so it's a little bit easier to work with, a little bit cleaner. So it'll be a new mod that people will subscribe to. If you're not familiar with Tabletop Simulator, you don't really transfer mods back and forth between people, so you have to create a new mod as you create a new mod. You can't just take over someone else's mod. So we'll be doing that come the fall time. But the reason we're doing that is because unfortunately, Colosseum of Fate is shutting down. The creator of it is unable to maintain it, and he's also unable to pass it along as per requirements of his employment. I don't know the details there, and I don't want to get involved in those details, but that's what I was informed on. So one word of advice is if anyone has decks built in Colosseum of Fate, go download them. I believe you have till Thursday, Friday this week. So hopefully you're not seeing this video in a week's time when you won't have a chance. But we'll post on our socials somewhere too, hopefully to let people know to go there. Download any decks you've built so that you have those lists and you can rebuild them in Tabletop Simulator when that gets up and running. Well, you can build them now because everything there is existing right now. But once Invasion comes out, you'll be able to rebuild or import them into there and add in the new exciting cards from Invasion into your sets. But at this point, Colosseum of Fate will be shutting down towards the end of this week. So in the next couple of days, do download everything of yours from there. It's something that's totally out of our control, out of his control as well. Unfortunately, it's not something that can be passed on or done anything with. It's where it is, unfortunately. But Tabletop Simulator is where I learned to play. It's where a lot of people learn to play. It's a great environment for this type of game. It's designed for board games and card games in general. And I think Genesis Battle of Champions fits right into that wheelhouse there. So a little bit of sad news with Colosseum of Fate, but Tabletop Simulator is where most people play their games online when they don't have a standalone platform.
I do
Just
expect.
a personal thank you, though, to the creator of Coliseum of Fate because a lot of people got a ton of enjoyment out of his hard work and effort. And
Yep.
even though we have to say goodbye to it eventually, like big thank you to him for everything he did. It was an impressive accomplishment with the deck building and the online playing and everything else that was involved there.
That platform was absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much. He did a phenomenal job, and I really am going to miss it. As a streamer who was able to stream from over Coliseum, I was able to take a bunch of the components of it, rearrange it for stream, and be able to have a beautiful stream because of all the work that he did that I was able to use for that. And so, like, huge respect to that. It's definitely going to be sorely missed. I do expect Tabletop Simulator to do a phenomenal job for this style of game, but there's definitely components that won't be there the same.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
So, anything else we should talk about Tavern Brawlers? Anything, Lee, that you want to make sure you get the message out to the viewers? Anything important you want them to know?
I do have the registration link ready for September's league. It will start on the 1st. Would you like me to share that here in the chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or
And
would you want me to post that on another platform?
Sure.
I'll also be posting this everywhere. So if you're in Discords, on Facebooks, as long as I have permissions, which I'll talk about after the stream, I'll post it wherever I can post it. So I'll go ahead and put that in the chat now. This is the registration form. This is a Google Doc form. You should also find in there a link to the Discord. If you're not already in the tavern, please feel welcome and comfortable to join. If you don't like it and want to leave, you're welcome to do so. No hard feelings. We love you. Thank you for coming to visit and check out what we do have going on there. But we do want to try to get together an 8 to 16 person league for next month if possible. And I think that a lot of people could be very excited for things going forward, that this could definitely happen.
The Tavern Brawler. It looks overwhelming when you join their Discord at first, but you very quickly fit into a niche there. And meeting Lee here in person now, you know that they're very welcoming and warm. So it looks overwhelming, but dive in with both feet. It's well worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there'll be a set of reaction roles when you do join the reaction role channel, and that's designed so that you only have to see the specific game channels that are of your interest. But we do have some open spaces as well that will definitely you'll be able to see what's going on in other areas as well.
Yeah, don't just click everything like I did. That's what I did, and that's why I was
Yeah.
out.
Yep. You should see my view.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The entry for September League is only going to be $10. So nothing crazy. For $10, you get a month's worth of play. It's going to be a ton of fun and a ton of
$10 USD.
Yeah, US.
And do you have your the price support listing up somewhere for that, or not yet?
Not yet. I still have to design it, and partial of that is going to be based on the number of registered participants.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it is good though.
Does
It is a
registration
fun.
begin? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When does
registration begin?
Now, the link is active. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. So it's just a Google Doc form. So if you know now that you're ready to play in September, go ahead and sign up now. Registration will end August 31st because I need like a whole day to do all the admin work for all the leagues. But then I'll be firing off as soon as I can.
I highly recommend anyone who used to play in person and maybe can't right now, or anyone who's even just interested in getting into Genesis, join the league. It is that casual. It is that fun. Especially for a game like Genesis, I can speak from the fan side of it from beforehand. When you start one of these games through the Tavern Brawlers and you tell them, look, I'm new, I'm just starting out, even if you're not familiar with Tabletop Simulator, I've never run into someone who said, well, too bad, this is competitive. They've always said, let me help you out. Let me help you get going, because the people playing it want to help grow the community too. So if you're interested in starting out, jump in. If your LGS isn't running events right now, jump in. Keep it going, because Invasion is coming hot on the heels of this restart of tournaments, and you're going to want to be in the know for that.
It sounds like a good way to get the dust off before Invasion hits, so that you're ready to play competitive.
There's another really fun feature of the leagues that I haven't talked about yet. When you register, you choose your champion, and then your champion is completely locked. Like, you choose it, and that's your champion throughout the entire league. However, your deck list is flexible.
Yes.
So if you're like, I really hated this card in my deck, I don't want to play with it ever again anymore, tear it in half, throw away, put a new card in. It's okay. Or if you're like really loving like a synergy or strategy, you want to explore that, or you want to explore different aspects of how your deck can work throughout the league. I just say, try not to like specifically tech against your upcoming opponent if you know what they're playing or something, right? I mean, like, that's against the nature of what the purpose is. But with staying in good nature and in good faith with the community here, the entire purpose and intent is so that you can build and learn and develop as you play.
It's basically a local group of international friends is what you're building with Tavern Brawlers. So you do want to be nice to each other, play nice with each other, sort of thing.
Yep. Only shit talk each other when you know each other well enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jeff, you said you played in one before, right, Jeff?
I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
And how did it go for you specifically?
For me specifically,
did you win? Are you undefeated?
If memory serves, no. I don't think I've ever. Think I can. I've never won a tournament in Genesis. Wait, no, hold on. I've beaten the former reigning champ in a Genesis game. That is my claim to fame, and that's why I believe that everything. No. Pack battles I do amazing at because level.
Okay.
I played that twice and I've kicked butt both times. No, I beat Sid Williams, the former, not this year's champion, the champion before. I beat him in just a regular game of Genesis. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. But no, in the Tavern Brawlers game, tournament, I'm pretty sure I did terrible. I may have actually won one round, now that I think about it.
I can like literally just look it up if you happen to remember what month it was in.
I think it was the first or second month you ran it. That'd be actually fun if you could look that up.
I can. I'm on challenge right now.
Okay, yeah, look it up. It should. I think my name is my first initial last name, so it should just be Jay
Yeah.
Pasito on there. I think it was first or second month you ran the tournament. I was in there. Oh no, I can't lie now. He's got all the information, Jason. What am I gonna do?
03 drop or something.
Oh, Mr. Pitts.
Hey, Mr. Pitts is in the house.
While you're looking that up, Lee, someone's asking if there's
Yeah.
any online single day events that you're thinking of doing or thinking of running soon.
So thinking of and wanting to do, absolutely. Right now, I only have the league scheduled to play. I need to touch ground with my TO partner and make sure that he's still on board to continue trying to run weekly events. We
Okay.
did have weekly events fire maybe half the times, but that's still opportunities that people got to play. So that was fantastic. And of course, if we get people who are still interested, we can keep rolling those through. My personal schedule, I work a manufacturing job, so I work what's called a J12 swing shift schedule. So I have like a 28-day cycle, and then like of that, there's like it goes like 4 nights over the weekend, 3 off, 3 days over the weekend, 1 off, 3 nights, 3 off over the weekend, 4 days on the week, and then 7 off. Plus, I work a lot of overtime. So, like, I can never do anything personally on a weekly basis and schedule. So, I really have to rely on my TOs to be able to run weeklies. If he's still available to run weeklies, I would love for him to be able to do that. No pressure to him at all. That's a conversation that I still need to continue. That I still need to have with him. We were gonna meet Friday, but things just didn't line up, and we're trying to reschedule to meet again, maybe tomorrow. So I'll have more information. If you're interested and you're not quite ready to join the tavern, stay tuned in the Genesis Discord and on Genesis Facebook. I will post updates.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, part of what makes these things successful is the community around them. We've always said that. Everyone's always said that to us too. It's 100% true. But a community cannot be successful without the community making it successful as well.
Absolutely.
If that makes any sense, right? So, like,
yeah.
Anyone who wants to get involved but goes, I don't know, there's not a lot of people playing. Well, you're one of the not a lot of people playing if you haven't joined the Tavern Brawlers League. So, join the Tavern Brawlers League, and you'll help increase those people playing so that more and more tournaments fire, more single day events are planned down the road, things like that.
To that point, yeah, exactly. Like, in order to make these things the best that they can be, they really just need you guys listening in. Players, we need people to participate. Whatever you can, no pressure, but just whenever you can and whenever you want to, just join in. Because if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to sign up if there's not going to be enough people, and then there's like 5 people who think that's 5 people who could have joined the event right there. And then everybody would have been happy, right? So,
and if you can't play at one point, share it around because you never know who in your play group can play, right? Like it sounds like I'm shilling for it there, but it's 100% true. If you can't play, share it with people that you know probably can play. You never know, right?
Bring your friends in. We have open tables. You can jump in a table, play some games, whatever game you want to play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely very community driven. So it takes the community to build a community, and we've been very privileged to have an amazing community in there to help us with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, Jason, I want to bring up something people might have noticed as we're heading close to 8 o'clock here that we didn't do a spoiler of any sort today. We didn't spoil any cards ourselves, any pictures, any images, anything like that.
Well, I thought we were revealing a brand new lead tonight. Right? Look in the middle of the screen, Jeff. There's our spoiler right there. Living, breathing.
You're not helping me here with this transition here. Going,
okay.
Do you want to tell people why maybe we didn't do a spoiler this week? What happened yesterday on someone else's stream? What are we looking at going forward with? Some ideas.
Yeah. Now
oh my God. I got to send you a new script. I got to update the script.
Well, I don't know where you're going with that. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, last night, a couple of Genesis superfans recently have started a new YouTube channel called Imperial Pulls, Imperial Pulls, Imperial Pulls, and they're huge diehard Genesis fans, but they've also been doing a little bit of other game content as well, just to build the channel because they really want their channel to be going at full speed when Invasion releases in the fall, like October, November. So last night they got to be the first channel ever with us to do a third-party card reveal of a card from the upcoming set for Invasion. They revealed No Pain, No Gain, which is a really cool looking card. And if other content creators out there want to get a chance to have some exclusive global reveals of cards that haven't been seen yet, just reach out to us. Do I still have the email here? Let me see if I have the email.
I'll
Okay, I still
submit
got
a
the email
request.
here. At hello@edgeofexile.com. There, it's on the screen just for a second. You can reach out to us, and then we will take a look at your request. Basically, if you're someone who supported Genesis in the past online, like with creating content, well, we'd definitely be interested in hearing from you. Maybe you're someone who's new to Genesis, but you've got a big viewership. Well, we'd be interested in hearing from you. If you're Jeff's mother, I'd definitely be interested in hearing from you because she makes a great Italian meal. So if you want to support our game or make me lasagna, either way, we'd love to hear from you. Right, Jeff?
He's not lying either. He's not lying. 100%. If you can make a good lasagna, well,
Yeah,
Jason will take that for
for
sure.
sure. We'll trade Genesis cards for lasagna.
Yep. No, so you guys have some homework. We're giving people homework, Jason. They gotta email us
Okay.
or get the other content creators to email us. You have to sign up for Tavern Brawlers. You have to share the Tavern Brawlers link for the September tournament. And most of all, on top of everything else, you have to have fun in the Tavern Brawlers tournament.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 things you have to do for us for homework. Sorry to give you homework.
All great things to do.
The fun is just about guaranteed. All you have to do is show up for it.
Yeah.
I'll throw in a bonus task too. Maybe head over to youtube.com/Imperial Pulse and give them a like and a subscribe because they've been trying really hard to promote the game as well. So shout out to Brian and to Joe for being great fans of the game and good friends. And to everybody who continues to share the post for Genesis and talk about the game and build the hype for the new set. I can't over exaggerate how much that I think this next set is going to be a big step forward for the game. I think the community is really going to love it. There's a lot of minor graphical tweaks with the design, a lot of minor tweaks with the rules that are being worked on to make things a little clearer and make more sense. And I just think the entire presentation of the game is going to be really cool when the next set comes out. So we're in an exciting time. We're very much in the lull before the storm, I would say, because I think this fall when our new set comes out, I think people are going to lose their minds. And I'm not going to reveal any spoilers at all, but there may also be other products that we're working on that we haven't announced yet that are going to surprise people in the future. So there could be some really cool other things announced later this year, early next year, who knows? But there's lots of cool things in the pipeline right now that Genesis fans are going to be really excited about.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes with the team.
Yeah.
That's
I can't stress enough how
really
much good
looking
progress we're
sounding
making.
good. Oh yeah, definitely. Having said all that, we are pushing close to 8. I don't know if anyone else in the chat room has more questions for Lee or for the rest of us. Not that we have a hard stop at 8. I just figure an hour of listening to me blather on isn't really well. Mind you, I guess you mostly listened to Lee today, so it was only about 5 minutes of me talking. So
I mean,
deal with another 20 minutes of me.
That's pretty bad enough as it is.
So something interesting that I'll let people know that's going on after the stream tonight is instead of Jeff and I and Janice and the rest of the team having a design meeting to talk about the next set or whatnot, we're actually all 5 of us are going to be getting together to play some Genesis online on TTS, Tabletop Simulator, just because we're playtesting stuff, getting ready for the next set, making sure that we have ideas, not the next one, but the one after, making sure we know how things are going to work and whatnot. And it's really cool. For anyone who doesn't have Tabletop Simulator yet, I got to tell you, I had bought it years ago as part of a bundle, so I didn't really play it much because it came with other games. But when I got introduced to it just last night, and I saw how cool the Genesis mods are with all the cards on the table, and it's done really well. And anyone who likes Genesis who can't necessarily play because there's not a big crowd in your hometown, I would seriously invest in getting yourself a copy of Tabletop Simulator on Steam, which only goes for around $20, $22, depending what country you're in. It's a great investment because you can do lots of other games besides Genesis on it. And I would seriously, genuinely, I'm after seeing how cool it looked last night when I was getting taught how to play Genesis on it, I would totally be seriously considering about signing up for Tavern Brawlers if I was
You don't
someone.
know how to play Genesis yet?
I've played
It,
Genesis
it
on Tabletop Simulator with removing the cushion.
I
And
know.
I don't know if doing a plug for Tavern Brawlers. Let me do the plug for the man. Please look at the pain on Lee's eyes now. You ruined it mid plug for the poor guy. Look how sad he looks. I apologize, Lee. I'm trying hard to plug for Tavern Brawlers for you. I'm trying to show some love and respect at all the hard work you guys are
Well,
doing.
thank you.
And honestly, like I was trying to say, I just wanted to let people know that Tabletop Simulator with Genesis, it looks really, really cool. It's going to be super fun to play. I'm sure, I don't know if I'll be able to get in for the September event just because we have a lot of crunch for work right now. But don't be surprised if, like, December or January, you see Jason of the North signing up to play in a Genesis tournament online at Tavern Brawlers because
Yeah.
it's just so cool. I was very impressed by TTS and knowing that you guys are doing good work and helping people play games online and have a chance of winning prizes. I think that's really cool. So big shout out to Tavern Brawlers for the good work you guys are doing, helping people play games with others, even if they're not local. I think that's
and
awesome.
Thank you,
Tabletop
Jason.
Simulator goes on sale twice a year, usually for about
Yeah.
$10 in their Steam
Yeah.
sale. So look for it. And one usually comes up in September. So you may be just right in time to buy it on sale. Sign up for the Tavern Brawlers. It'll cost you $20 between the two of them. And
Yeah.
Andrew in the comments here says he's too old for Tabletop Simulator. Trust me, Andrew. So was Jason, and he figured it out. We'll get Jason to teach you how to play it. Not to worry.
I'd like to give both of you a
Jeff, aren't you
huge
born the
thank
same
you.
year as me?
He's
Shut up,
actually
Jason.
older.
Lee was
Jeff's
talking.
older than
Shush.
me?
Yeah.
Sorry, Lee. You were
Please,
going
I'm
to say
sorry,
something.
Lee.
I
I
think you were
didn't mean
saying
to
something
interrupt.
really
Sorry.
good.
You're cool. You're cool. I was just saying, thank you guys both very much for having me on here, allowing me to jump into your platform and talk to your community as well as our community, and let people know about these events. It really appreciate the support as a community member and as an organizer on both levels. I really appreciate that very much. So thank you.
It's our pleasure. I know Jeff and I are both very passionate about making sure that anyone who wants to support Genesis is someone that we want to support. We're both big believers in that a community can only succeed if both halves of the community work together for a common goal.
Yes.
So it's our pleasure to have you on tonight. And now that I'm more familiar with all the cool things Tavern Brawlers is doing, I'm pledging to you now, I'm going to make a conscious effort to promote it more and make sure we get links out to the public for events you have coming up for Genesis and whatnot.
Thank
So
you.
you just keep feeding
And
me the information in DMs, and I'll make sure that I get it passed out to our community.
fantastic. And additionally, to add on to something that you just said as well, community working with community to make everything work out. We have always had a stance where we are very open to and want to work with other creators and other people doing things in the community as well. If anybody wants to pop in, they can share their content. We have spaces for that. If they're content creators, if they want to share like their spoilers or their streams or just let us know about things that are going on in the community as a whole and in general. We are very welcome to supporting everybody in the card space industry.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Sounds
That's
great.
really awesome.
Jeff,
And
any last
Andrew
thoughts
says it in
before
the
we go?
just what Andrew said in the chat here. He said community make sure that they share the information for others as well. Simple clicking
Yeah.
the share button. Community builds community. So whether it's for the Tavern Brawlers or for Genesis itself or even just your own community, share it around and build yourselves up as well because we all. Well, what was the saying? A rising tide raises all ships. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've loved that line, and
Me
I
too.
do ascribe to
Yeah.
that myself.
And
So.
as a local game store owner, I can tell you on a personal level, it always makes my heart warm a bit when I see someone liked and shared one of our posts. So I
Yeah.
can imagine what it feels like for Tavern Brawlers when they get the likes and shares, or whatever your local game store is. If you see
Yeah.
something cool going on, like it, share it, and let other people know because it really does help.
Can I give a special thank you to a couple members of the community as well, real quick?
Of course.
For sure.
Card cohorts, thank you guys so much. You guys are always resharing my stuff constantly. Really appreciate the support. You have been there with us for a very long time. Really appreciate that. We have a ton of people in the tavern who have been playing in the events since last February when we started running events with you guys. I just want to say thank you to all of them. Right now, we have Tim 10 has been like there for like every event. Basically, I think he might have missed like 2 events maybe throughout this entire time. So huge to a player. Thank you so much for being there and supporting this program. Thank you to Joe, my TO, who has stepped up, who joined the team in order to help support the community through events, doing things like that. That's why he joined us, is he wanted to help support the community as well. We have had a ton of phenomenal community members. I could name a list of like this long, but obviously I can't name everybody who deserves it. But like really, just been so many phenomenal people in and out of the community. So thank you all for supporting both the game and us as the Tavern Brawlers, and hoping to see more people come in and help you guys feel like that effort was rewarded too.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
That's
I'm glad
awesome.
to hear so many people are doing so many awesome things.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think we've had a good stream tonight. Lee, I don't want to cut you off. You're good. Is there anything else you want to try and cram in before we? Okay, good.
Nope, I've definitely said tons, a lot of stuff for people to digest right now. So
It's awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing how the Genesis events go over the next few months. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit of a spike right away now that we're working together to try and communicate the awesome opportunities out there for people to play Genesis online. I know the numbers are going to spike by at least 1 in December or January because I'm going to play in a tournament, give people a chance to whoop the president at his own game, which that'll be fun and demoralizing all at the same time. In the meantime, I want to thank you, Lee, for coming out tonight. It's been really fun chatting with you. Once again, I want to thank my co-host, Jeff, as always, the handsome one. And with that being said, I've got the beautiful Janice here beside me, just off camera, helping with all the awesome stuff. My name's Jason. It has been a thrill to chat with you all tonight. It's been great to see all the people chatting in the actual chat. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, for tonight. Let me just say goodbye with a take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.
See you
Go
soon.
North.
No,
Go North. No, play Genesis. I'll see you in the arena.
arena.
See you in the arena.
The
I meant to
arena.
say I'll see you in the arena. Damn it, I own 2 companies. I'm sorry.